this thing down a bit. Welcome to Pepe's Echo. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. For those of you watching live, thank you very much. For those of you who are watching on the replay, thank you very much. My name is Andre, and it is the ordinary man in the street looking at ordinary things from the outside inside. So yes, no huge qualifications, no huge researchifications. Just basically reading and checking out and saying hello, and probably causing or creating the questions. As I said before, nothing heavy, just creating questions and giving opinions. What we're actually wanting to take a look at, and if you want anything in depth, I always say go and take a look at a Ronaldo Gous or Chris Wyatt in Indaba, Africa, or if you want to take a look at Morning Shot, really, really good. See Roman Kavanagh with Morning Shot. Joe Emilio is also really, really good. And then we have Germ from Joe Warfare. Take a look at those guys, and they will go a little bit further in depth. I really enjoy following them. And then for a little upliftment, I've always got to add this in life, and a little happiness. Is it Dizzy's World? I'll have to take a look at that again. I might be a little mistaken, but sorry, I've got to switch my YouTube channel to the correct one to be able to see what I'm talking about. Wrong one. Take a look at it now in any case. But of course, now that I'm looking for it, I won't find it at all, which is really, really frustrating to me. I will tell you in a moment when I do find it. But yeah, for some good upliftment, take a look. I think it's Dizzy's Moments, something like that. Am I really, really that mixed up that I cannot find them now? Need to unsubscribe to some things. I'm subscribed to some channels that I watch every single day. But anyway, welcome to Pepe's Echo, where we take a look from the outside inside. I do not have too much going on today. I've had, once again, visitors yesterday, overnight today. I've been away with people today, and I've still got visitors today. So I do apologize if I do not have anything properly kicked into space and where we want to go. So I figured, well, we'll just do a little chat. We all know that South Africa's been shot to shit over the last week. But before we do that, let me get to the required postage and say to you, please remember to like and subscribe to this channel. It's the only way we do get out. And then please do join in the chats. It's the only way we do get some content on here as well. I know we've got a couple of people that watch. Linda usually watches, and I'm losing it. I can't remember names anymore. Anyway, everybody that watches, my buddy Sean, he did send me a note the other day. How's it, Sean? I know he could not get in because he has been traveling and he's where there is no pickup. But yeah, if you have anything that is exciting that you would like to talk about, that you would like mentioned, or that you would like looked into, does not have to be political, and it does not have to be South African. It does not have to be Cambodian. It can be an hobby, an interest, a question, a query. If you'd like to come onto the show, give me a note. Drop it at peppesecho@gmail.com, PEPRSECHO. Yes, there is no double P and no E. It is like that. Please drop it in and give me a shout. If you'd like to come into the show, give me a shout as well. I do want to get one or two people more onto the show. And after the Chris Wyatt's blood at the moment, no, I don't want to kill the man. I'm actually really, really enjoying his coverage and his shows as well. Ronaldo's done some good coverage as well. So please drop me a line in the comments below. I would really, really appreciate that. So yes, and this is the live echo that you are watching. Please like and subscribe. I would be most grateful if you can do so. Yeah, and I'm shouting out to my wife at the moment. We need to do something about my background. I look like I'm in a lunatic asylum. But yeah, as fear as mad as what I am, I suppose it's counts for nothing much more than that as such. Let's take a look. We're basically just doing a little bit of trawling on the Quora, and we are trawling around in some of the Twitter sites and that at the moment. We know that South Africa has been shot to shit this week. Flipping looting and going on, and oh man, it's our people and President Ramaphosa. Shall I echo the saying of Ronaldo, no balls Ramaphosa? But I want to give you a song, and it is sung to the bridge over River Kwai, and it goes, so then we go, Boris has only one big ball, Biden has two but very small. Ramaphosa, yes, Ramaphosa, he hasn't got any balls at all. So yeah, there we go. One for you, Ronaldo, from me, and it's free. Yeah, we've got no comments at all at the moment. So yes, as I said, country shot to shit. Shall I deal with the elephant in the room? We have had looters all over the place, and the president refers and says, the people are doing this, the people are doing that, and this is happening and that is happening, and we can't control the people. It's time we called the shot. I'd like to ask you one question, and I'm not racist at this, but I do want to ask this question. Where is the white face in the looters? So I'm sorry to say, but that's a question that I'm asking. If you want me to ask it or not, I'm not asking it in a racist way. I am asking it as a fact, because we are refusing to say anything about it. So yeah, call it what it is. I'm just asking the question there. And they are continuing to break the country down. As I always say, even though the forest was being shot to shit, the trees still voted for the axe because its handle was made of wood. And that's what I'm concerned about coming up to the new elections as well, is that in 2024, even though the ANC has burnt everything to the ground, they are still going to get voted in because the handle of the axe is made of wood. And then, unfortunately, I do not have hope for the country, because here in Cambodia, it is really good. The cost of living is low, etc., etc. But I would have liked to have come to South Africa to retire, at least get something there when I do get older. I can't say grayer because I'm already getting gray. If you take a look at the hair on my chinny chin. But yeah, I will dye it in sometime again as well, so that I do look better. However, I thought, you know what, let's buy a place there and, rent it out, and then we can settle down one day. But apparently that is not going to be so, because if the country is going in the way it does, and we have a government like the ANC, the Nazis, that's all it is. It's missing the N and T. And basically, their form of success, once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the ANC's vision of success, it doesn't matter if your country is burned to the ground and they are governing over ashes. They see it as a success because they are in government. They're still in power. And yeah, I've had people say, well, you know what, if you want to retire in Zimbabwe, why don't you do it now? That's where South Africa's going, guys. It is actually, it's frightening. I mean, I know in South Africa's vein, it's really good to always make a joke. I saw a post the other day, and it said, my wife just returned from the shops, and I am so angry with her. I cannot believe it. She has actually paid for the items. Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, where is it going, guys? Where is the country going? It's a question. It's a question that we're seeing. We open up the papers, we look on the TV, we look internationally. It's gone so far that it actually hit CNN and it actually hit the BBC. I mean, you don't get more dopey than CNN. And wow, there it is over there. I mean, the looting has been ridiculous. People are so hungry that they're prepared to eat 58-inch TVs. People are so thirsty that they are prepared to drink vodka and whiskey and beers and everything. They're going for the bottle stores, the liquor stores. They are so hungry that they're prepared to rip an ATM out of the wall and actually eat money. I don't know where we're going. They're burning trucks and not Zinzi Mandela, who's the other one? Dudu's. Zuma is going, yeah, we see you, Amandla. Yeah, we see you, Amandla. I saw a video clip, which I unfortunately don't have now, where the box of something gets open and all these monkeys just go for it and rip it all apart. And guys, did you see our looting? I rest my case. People are saying it tongue in cheek, but wow, somewhere along the line, somebody's actually got to say it. Somebody's got to say it. It's exactly what it looked like. It is exactly what it looked like. So yeah, let's take a look, see what we're looking at. Twitter. Steve Hofmeyer, doen jy wat ons doen? Oorreageer ons oorweeg dit praktyk. As 10 opdaag, as 100 opdaag, ons snap routes, kos, water, komberse, verdediging, bure, krag, diere, kommunikasie, gif, glas, lokvalle, brandstof. Yeah, so do what we do, over-exaggerate. So basically, yeah, people are starting to, I know, as I said, I spoke to a friend, shall not name him at the moment, but I mean, he's almost like on the preparation wheel. We have a border that we are busy guarding from here to there. We've put in a line over here, and they're expecting the worst. And the more that I'm trying to say, well, I don't think it's going to be so bad, the more the country's trying to prove me wrong. Blackouts, looting, burning out trucks, and then we've got, I think the fuel is looking at going up another 87 cents next month, or I think it's next month. What's going to happen to the economy? I think the rand is back up to 1440 something, and it was doing pretty well under the 13 mark, on the 13 mark for a country that is shot to pieces like that. So, you know what? Why don't we capitalize on something that is good and actually build this country up? But I didn't see police, soldiers. I mean, really. Are we prepared for this type of situation, if I can put it in that way? Hydrogen gas turbines. What is this? Where earnest roots hurt you. Oh, geez. Really? Steve Hofmeyer, liberals. So you value your stuff more than you value someone's life. I don't know. What, if you want my stuff, do you want me to keep you with your life? Let's take a look tonight on Ronaldo Gous. Seems to be you'll be hosting Helen Zille again at 8 o'clock tonight. Please, guys, do tune into Ronaldo Gous. He's at 8 o'clock in the evenings. The Sunday service is really good and it's absolutely fantastic. I think it is going to be a good chat on the most troublesome week in South Africa since we became a democracy. Be sure to tune in. I actually want to put in my 5 cents piece on there as well. I have never seen such lawfulness in South Africa as it is building up to. I don't know if anybody can actually attest to that. When last, if ever, have you seen this kind of lawfulness in South Africa? I mean, it's unspoken of it. Presidents being sent to jail, not yet for what they are being tried for, but because they won't go to court for it, which means it's screaming guilty as it is. And then you go and loot and steal. I mean, I saw places where they'd stolen animals, for crying out loud. Animals, livestock. They were stealing that. Ridiculous. Do tune in to Ronaldo Gous and take a look this evening on the 18th of July. He is going to have Helen Zille on, which is really, really good. Carl Neos, what an absolute twat. Remembering Nelson Mandela. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. If the memory of Nelson Mandela is what this country is now, he's nothing more than the terrorist he was before. So, yeah, let's call a spade in that aspect as well. Christopher Mumbeck. Anyone can guess right occasionally. The difference between conspiracy theory and scientific theory is evidence and data. This isn't aimed at anyone in particular, including you, Stefan. So I don't know who Stefan is, but Sankara Marx, when I told my mum that part of the reason why the unrest happened was so that someone could get their hands on the ammo that is now gone, she said, "Ah, Stefan." Now, other learned people are starting to say the same, but now she believes them. Can't win with that old lady. I've heard people as well say, you know what, this is only the start. It's the looting and that started this way and it's that way. I've had so many conspiracy theories in, they're moving military around and it's this way. Obviously, there's no coups or anything like that. They're wanting to move the white man out. And, and once again, I'm going to say it. I'm not a racist in that sense. Mark me if you want to. But where was the white face in the looting? You know what? Sorry, but it's a question I aim to ask. When we saw the police looting as well, the video, everyone has seen the video of the police looting as well. Where was the white policeman that was looting? There wasn't. That's the bottom line. There wasn't. How can we comb this accusation generally when it's not? The people you're wanting to discriminate against, the people, the color that you're wanting to discriminate against, where was the Indian? Let's ask you this way as well. If before you tell me I'm a white racist, where was the Indian that was looting? I didn't see an Indian looting. Jack London, Verwoerd was right. Let's take a look what Verwoerd said. In a multiracial society where power must eventually be transferred into the hands of the numerically strong Bantu, not only the white but also the colored and Indian will go under. Over time, even the Bantu masses will not benefit because on the strength of what has happened elsewhere in Africa, it must be taken into consideration that South Africa will develop into an autocracy or dictatorship on account of their lack of ability to manage a complicated administration. The country will moreover administratively and economically be destroyed and for everyone, white and colored, end in chaos. Geez, where did I go to now? I'm all over the place now. Try and find home. Okay, I shot that one out of the water. Sorry, let's go on. But yeah, you know what? That was said how many years back? I suppose this is the ShopRite cleaning the oil spill. That was really good. Did you see that one? That was excellent. But yeah, DA Gauteng, Kingsall Jr. is out on the ground with DA members where they are assisting with the cleanup operation of the Everton Mall in Ephuleni. Thanks to our communities for standing together and showing what we can achieve when we stand united. The ANC helps to break down, helps to loot, looks the other way. I don't know, Becky Cele, I think he's on holiday somewhere because he's no bloody way to see in South Africa. And guess who gets to pick up the pieces? The DA. Come on, guys. And you wanting to speak out against them? You know what? I don't think they're the most admirable guys always under the sun. I think sometimes they're a little bit hot-headed. But the bottom line is they get results and they get it. They are able to do the job. The capability is there. It's like Donald Trump, guys. I think he's an arrogant, narcissist ass. But he gets results. So put him there. I don't have to be his friend. I don't have to sit and eat next to him. But he makes sure that I can get to eat. And that's the same thing I'm going to tell you about the DA, guys. You don't need to like the people. You don't need to sit and have lunch or be best friends with them, but they get results. They know how to do the job. They are capable. And if they are going to be the people cleaning up. I don't need to sit next to them and eat, but they do ensure that I get to eat. Vusi Kumalo, more than 30 farms were torched in the Showe Impangeni area during the agriculture hashtag Minister Toko Didiza visited affected areas assessing the extent of the damage. One farmer lost the produce to the tune of about 400,000. She pledged government support. I really hope that farmer was black, because otherwise she wouldn't get it. Action SA, I don't know if this is just another little broken off branch that, you know what, you can't do that, guys. Once again, we're in a country that's busy seeing lawlessness. You can't now try and form your own little troop on the side. You know, we aren't Boy Scouts here. We're trying to run a country. Maponya Mall security increased. Residents vow that they'll stand on guard. Guys, this is the government's job. Why are the residents having to do this? And then going off the line on the tweet beat, yeah. Hi, Ashley, I hate to break it to you, but some females, like some males and non-binaries, are dreadful human beings. In this case, I was commenting on a female who's made a career from belittling and humiliating people. It turned out to be a shameful abuser and hypocrite. This is Piers Morgan. Somebody tackled him. He said, there he goes again, feeling the need to belittle and humiliate a female. What's it? Sideliner opinions. Name me one person, business or institution in the Ramaphosa faction of the ANC SACP that was attacked by these thousands of Zuma insurrectionists. Sorry. Tell me, how many of the ANC led to any losses here? Just a question, yeah. Oh, geez, Delil. Good Party leader Patricia Delil says when the late Nelson Mandela was dragged to court by former rugby player Louis Late, he wasn't happy, but he did what he had to as he respected the Constitution. No, he did not respect the Constitution. He blew up a lot of people in the process. I have no problem with Mandela. He did make a concerted effort to change his mind. I don't know what his agenda was. He wasn't in power long enough before he left it to the cronies. The lines between home and work have been blurred, and it has proven increasingly difficult to maintain work-life balance. Guys, this is a true thing. Even here in Cambodia, life is very cautious, as I could, if I have to put it that way. We have most people being left at home. Teachers are at home. I still have the pleasure of going to work to sit in an empty school because the teachers are still all at home. We can't put more than 15 people into a building or place at once. Things are not looking as good as what they should be. We have far too many fatalities, and the Delta string has been found to be making its rounds here as well. Although I must say the good side of Cambodia is, compared to South Africa, who has not even got to vaccinating half of what Cambodia has. I don't know. They keep on going. I mean, I had Ramaphosa on his like speech again. Addressing the nation. Oh, and we will use this and to bring up the vaccination program back onto. You know what? If you were less concerned about who the bloody hell does the vaccinations, where they come, and actually stop stealing the damn money so that they can actually fund these vaccinations and get people vaccinated, then you would actually get things done. South Africa is so flippin' cooped up with, and I'm sorry to say, last week I did it about people who were anti-vaxxers. I mean, you bunch of arseholes. Sorry to say that. But I mean, for crying out loud, you've put worse into your body. You're a bunch of crybabies. You can't stand together and wonder why your country is shot to shit. But you're starting to shout and say, teachers have rights and they don't need to be vaccinated. For crying out. So do the parents who send their children to school and expect the school to be mitigated to the most safest option ever. Vaccination will not stop you from getting COVID. Vaccination will not stop you from passing on COVID, but vaccination will mitigate the fact of that. Vaccination will help you to get COVID, possibly less likely, will not kill you on that base. And if you do that overall, it is mitigated. A plaster will not stop you from bleeding, but it does mitigate the bleeding. It is so many reasons why you should be vaccinated. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to track you. There are no robots in the vaccinations. I had mine about 2 months ago. Yes, I'm shouting for it. But I'm getting tired of the fact that people are saying, oh, but we have our rights. Damn right you've got your right. And guess what? You can take your right and keep it. But so does your employer have the right to expect to have the people in their employ be as safe for everybody around them. Schools have the right to choose to have people employed who are vaccinated. So you have your right not to be vaccinated, but the school has the right to have vaccinated employees. In this pandemic that is killing people, I've just had a funeral service that I was at yesterday, online funeral service, of my cousin and his wife who died 2 days apart after being diagnosed with COVID. I've had a friend who's in hospital by COVID. I've had a friend who died on Christmas Day. I've had a friend and a friend's sister who died about a month and a half ago. Guys, and then I've got these arrogant people who still say the people who are vaccinated are arrogant. I think the arrogant people are those who refuse to be vaccinated and who are refuse to mitigate. It's how South Africa sometimes comes up. And I'm talking to white South Africa now a lot of the times. Most of the times, it's you arrogant shits that I have my rights and I won't do this. Get it done. I've seen the people complaining about the masks. Who were they? They were white South Africans. So yes, call me when I say to you there's no blackface in the looters. But I'll tell you, I've seen more white South Africans being arrogant about this vaccination thing. We'll drink some cattle or animal medication. Yeah, it works, and I'm sure it does work. And some people say it does work, and some people say it doesn't. You know what? If you think it does, by all means, I think it does do a certain amount of. Personally, I do think it does a certain amount of prevention, but it doesn't stop me from being vaccinated. One good thing. Kudos up to Cambodia. Everybody in this country will be vaccinated. Not, you know what, choose if you like to be vaccinated or not. This country will be vaccinated. If you're a teacher, if you're a health worker, you will be vaccinated. There is no choice. We are getting vaccinated. In that way, we have over 5 million vaccinated already, and they are carrying on and on and on and making it possible for people to be vaccinated. You can go, foreigner. We're foreigners in this country. We don't even have citizenship in this country. We have access to vaccination. South Africa, take a feather out of a country that has also got so many bad points, but is actually fighting a fight against this pandemic. Anyway, let's switch over to something else. What Sunday Times, being a propaganda mouthpiece for the ANC. Sunday Times says, if you come looting, we will be shooting. The underlying racism of the rioting in Durban's Phoenix. You know what? I think the police should be using rubber bulleted submachine guns on the shits that are looting. They should burn the living crap out of them with rubber bullets. I'm not saying kill them or physically burn them, but those bullets must burn. They must be walking around with blue marks. You must be able to see those with blue marks and flipping broken places where these rubber bullets are hitting. You know, you are a flipping looting bastard. That's what you are. But no, instead, the police get sent to jail. The police loot with the people. Please, man, we don't get good people. Let's take a look. Times Live. Becky, during a week of unprecedented violence and chaos since the advent of democracy, South Africans tasted the bitter fruits of counter-evolutionary insurgency that has been germinating in the bowels of state capture. Yeah, it's the bowels. I wouldn't only say state capture. State capture is a result of the incompetency of a nation to manage a country. I'm sorry. of a party to manage. Let me not say nation, because I think that is very unfair of me to say that. To share everybody under the same. I mean, I can say white nation, then you look at Carl Neas and he's like, oh my Lord, he's like the runt of the family that fell and bumped his head, because all he's doing is holding on to a paycheck. That's all. He's an absolute flippin' groundhog. And good news guy. What's a good news guy? Valenzuela musician Christopher Andres lives with his family in Sao Luis, in Moreno, Brazil, really digging his medley. Okay, very nice. South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee finalized its squad for rescheduled Tokyo Olympics. I'm actually quite interested to see how they're going to pull this Tokyo Olympics off, because they are pretty, how should I say, they're pretty shot there as well. Anyway, I want to switch over to Quora a little bit. Quora, let's take a look what we've got on Quora, guys. Wake up Africa, learn about African people, right? Something that concerns me that we should never forget about. You know, with this looting and Zoomers in jail and everything sometimes draws attention away because we are so numb. But are white South Africans having, and this is posted on Tuesday, having fun living and working with black South Africans in 2021? Quora creates questions. So it's questions that are built up from other people as well as such. And since thousands of them are being murdered by government-supported thugs, I wouldn't think so. Let's see what else is said by this. Let's get that open there. 7 days, 10 farm attacks, 4 farm murders, 0 press coverage, because they are white. The world doesn't care. Katie Hopkins. Take a look. How many names do you think fits onto those plates, guys? Hundreds, thousands. Those are farmers. These aren't names of soldiers that died during war. These are farmers who died brutally, murdered on their farms in South Africa. This wall of remembrance is at Nampo in Bothaville. Horrifying, guys. Horrifying. What did I do there? Why is South Africa falling apart economically despite black rule? They've got what they want. The country is in what the world wanted. A rainbow, well, why despite? The rainbow, and this is different people giving questions and that, which I really, really love and enjoy, and stuff that I actually want to go through. The rainbow unitary democratic Western ideology never worked, doesn't work, and never will. Opinion. Let's find out. Let's find out. Which country in Africa is ruled or managed successfully? Which country in Africa is a first world country? Which country in Africa was contending as a first world country and is now absolutely trashed? South Africa was a leader of Africa. It is now a shadow. I won't even say a shadow of what it was. Never mind a rainbow. The unitary democratic Western ideology never worked, doesn't work, and never will on a rainbow nation. The West pushed their idiotic ideals on SA, and the result is the same as places where the US brought democracy, but only goes more slowly. Other than the economy, and 80% of taxes is produced in the majority by how many? 3% of the population that doesn't have much kids, while the rest of the country depends on welfare and has been making lots of kids, going for quantity rather than quality. Now, guys, once again, I'm not going to be racist here or anything like that, but I do want to face facts where people are not prepared to open their mouths for fear of offending. And I'm going to tell you, other than the economy and 80% of taxes, That's most of the money that comes in. So obviously 20% is paid by other parties, is produced by 3% of the population that doesn't have much kids. Which percent is the lowest in South Africa? It's the white population. Who doesn't have the most kids? It's the white population. While the rest of the country depends on welfare and has been making lots of kids. Who is mostly on welfare in South Africa? Is the black population. Who has kids like it's going out of fashion? It's the black population. And sadly, if you are poor and uneducated, you just gun it like a rabbit and you had kids all over the place. Go into a white squatter camp and take a look. They got kids lying all over the place as well. It is a poor and uneducated mentality. And 90%, or not 90%, but a huge majority of our black population is poor and uneducated. So it's not necessarily their color, because you have another 20% of the taxes which are put in by blacks as well. I'd say the 80% is Indian, white, some colored as well. And then you've got your 20%, which is everyone throwing toys and being mismanaged. Now that amount is also being stolen by your government, and it's very nicely put, like sort of under wraps. It's by the population that doesn't have much kids. A normal family, especially in a white family. Take a look at an Indian family. Do you ever see Indian families with like trials of kids all over the place? No. But in the black family, you know what? I've got 2 kids. I'm getting grants from the government. I think I need a raise this year. Could somebody impregnate me, please? I'm sorry. Fact's a fact. You wanted to hear it, you've got it. And you know what? Crucify me for it. I'm sorry. I got to get to say my say. And that is a fact. And this is what the everyday man in the street is looking and asking and wanting to say, but he's too damn scared to say because they just might offend, or even alternately, have the cops or government rock up at their place. No, South Africa, find me if you want to. Anyway, when 20% were carrying 30% on their shoulders, with what's left, 50% falling in between taking care of themselves, it worked out. But now it's 3% carrying 80% since they multiplied, and that's basically not possible anymore. It has always been a simple matter of time. Won't be the first country to collapse this way. And yes, instead of like, whoa, let's control population, there's been a freaking boom in population. And from which demographic have we boomed? That's the question. Put a China 2-kid policy in place. Why is South Africa still so segregated? Now we've got a question over here. Why is South Africa still so segregated so long after the end of apartheid? Good question. I don't know if I can go into that over there. Okay, you can. Let's take a look at some of the answers on there. I actually didn't get to the answers on the other one either. Let's see if there were questions and answers on falling apart economically first as well. After that, why is South Africa falling apart economically despite black rule? Wenke Adam lived in Mozambique. Because things take time, there are no shortcuts to development. Well, we're not developing, we are deconstructing. I can contribute with a few personal observations about South Africa in the years around the end of apartheid when I was living in the neighboring country, Mozambique. Bear with me while I briefly introduce my Mozambican experience first, as it was crucial for my understanding South Africa. Mozambique gained independence from Portugal in 1975. I went there to work 6 years later. The Portuguese had left the country en masses. After independence, leaving behind a population with 95% illiteracy and 36 doctors, during colonial rule, most administrative posts were held by Portuguese. They never developed a local middle tier like the British and French had done in their colonies. The new government had to govern with what they had. At the time when I arrived, someone with only 6 years of primary education could become a section manager in ministry. Because there was no one else with higher qualifications to take the job, everybody was going to school. Kids up to grade 4 had teachers from grade 6. There was 4 secondary schools in the whole country. When the school children went home in the afternoon, the adult learners took over for the evening classes. Those who know teach, those who don't know learn, was the motto. Optimism and hope were high. When I left Mozambique 20 years later, in 2003, there were tens of thousands of Mozambicans with full primary education, thousands with secondary education, while hundreds of doctors, engineers, and agronomists had graduated from the university. Was that enough to make the prosperous modern country? Of course not. Just a beginning. Things take time. And at the same time, all sorts of things happened. The killing of Mozambique's first president, Samora Machel, together with most of his cabinet in a sophisticated apartheid-arranged plane crash had happened. That's a little bit crude, apartheid-arranged plane crash. Well, did the ANC arrange Hansi Cronje's plane crash? I don't know. Seeing as anyway, let me not go down that road. I had enough dropping my jaw today. But apartheid-arranged plane crash, a 17-year-long civil war had happened. The ruinous World Bank, International Monetary Fund, structural adjustment program had happened. People were understandably a bit less optimistic, a lot less idealistic. Corruption and crime were increasingly happening. Meanwhile, in South Africa, I never went to South Africa before the release of Nelson Mandela from prison. We respected and followed the international boycott of apartheid during the 80s. On our first trip to the closest South African city, Nelspruit, in 1993, we soon understood how deeply the apartheid era had wounded the people. We hired a large van for our mixed group of 9 white, black, and brown family members and close friends. Close friends. I was driving and was a bit lost. So I stopped and said hello to a black gentleman who was walking by and asked him for directions, as it would have been a natural thing to do in Mozambique. His first reaction was both of anger and fear. A white woman was calling him. Surely she meant no good, but she could be a threat. He was about to turn around and leave when I took a second look at him, a second look at the smiling rainbow mix of faces in the van, and he was clearly puzzled. Then his curiosity gained the upper hand, so he approached the van and told us where we could turn to get our destination. We thanked him and explained that we came from Mozambique. Only then did he smile. Later that day, we stopped to eat a fast food restaurant where everybody kept staring at us. A rainbow table of 9 wasn't yet a common sight in Nelspruit at that time. But things can change fast, or not. 2 years after Mandela's general election, we went back to Nelspruit into the same hotel where we had stayed before. Same white management. Why white? How about same management? But anyway, same black staff. Oh my goodness. Where are we going with this? Everything was just a bit less clean. The service a bit slower. Why? Simple. The staff wasn't afraid anymore. So they relaxed. Could they lose their jobs? Yes, but there were no more jobs to find and they could move if they wanted to. Have you heard about the Bantustans? You should. I had a theoretical knowledge about the Bantustan system of South Africa and thought it terrible, of course, but it's a real implication and struck home in 1997 when I took my first and only holiday trip in South Africa with my daughters. We flew from Mozambique, Maputo to Cape Town and hired a car to take the coastal route north to the Mozambican border. We first drove through beautiful lush scenery of endless well-kept estates with stops in lovely coastal towns, mostly white people around, and then we decided to take a detour into the surrounding hills. And the landscape started to change. Drier, poorer, less well-maintained roads, a few goats and a cow here and there. We finally came to a plateau, densely covered with small huts, with corrugated roofs, no vegetation, no water, only old people and small children. OMG. Only then did I realize that this was a former Bantustan. Abolished after the general election of 1994, they didn't cease to exist. Physically, of course, the people were still there and the terrain was still barren. No water magically appeared. That was only one of the problems that the post-apartheid rainbow country had to solve. Millions of destitute people to raise out the poverty. It would take time and money and patience. Is this person going to get to their point? And trust. The only positive but significant change I could see there was that the place had schools, and driving through this village in the afternoon, he saw hundreds of children with their backpacks on their way home. It takes time, and in the meantime, things happen. Politics, greed, mistrust, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, structural adjustment programs, impatience, AIDS, having more government posts to cover than competent, trustworthy people to do a good job. I hope to have given you a glimpse of what modern-day Southern Independent looked like. Now, I don't want to compare it too much, because South Africa's a country on its own. This writer or this person says that, you know what, when Mozambique got their independence, the Portuguese pulled out and they were left with what? Dumb nuts, stupid people that they put in positions, and the old were teaching the young, and the more educated were teaching the less educated, and if you know it, share it, da-da-da-da-da-da. And the country was in a shit show of a state, and it still is in a shit show of a state. Nobody even wants to go to Mozambique, and just the other day they had one hell of a massacre. It is an uneducated state because it was ruled by uneducated people. It was managed by uneducated people. Did we expect anything more? Okay. Now, South Africa was an educated nation. They had educated decisions made. They had built up. And when power was transferred to the ANC, there were not people who left. It's not like Mozambique where you said, well, the educated people, the Portuguese pulled out. They were there. It's just that the current ruling party has such a distaste that they are prepared to cut their nose to spite their face. There are education, there is competency. There is competency in the country. There is education in the country. There is a way to make South Africa prosperous. There is a way to have jobs in South Africa. There is a way to have a far stronger economy in South Africa. And there is a way to uplift South Africa. But because we are not prepared, we are too busy trying to wipe out history that we cannot wipe out. You can pull down all the statues you want to. You can burn all the history books that you want to. It cannot wipe out history unless you can turn back the clock of time and actually go there and prevent it from happening. It happened in all the ways. Apartheid happened. Zulu uprisings happened. Blood River happened. It was what it was. You know what, whether it's good or whether it's bad, hopefully we get to learn from our history. But if you take a look, you can't compare Mozambique to South Africa. South Africa was left with a strong, stable, flourishing, prosperous economy with everything that you had to build on. And what you needed to do was tap to take over and not eliminate. But what we've done is eliminated. And at the same time, we've eliminated our people. We've eliminated opportunity. We've eliminated jobs. We've eliminated the economy. We have created an absolute shadow, an ash of a company. Another one says, I don't understand the premise of your question. It seems that you assume black rule should automatically lead to economic success. It doesn't matter what rule. It means that if you take over a successful country, even if it takes a dip, should at least 26 years later be flourishing, or at least be on the up, and not less than what it was before, than what most countries in Africa are. There's no reason why this should be it seems that you assume black rule should automatically lead to economic success. There is no reason why this should be, and much evidence that it is not. Economies do better under wise stewardship and worse under, for example, widespread corruption and managerial incompetence, which is exactly what South Africa has. The race of the wise, the corrupt, and the incompetent is not a factor. Now, exactly, we talk about race. We have a pure black party known as the ANC and the EFF and all these people with the chuffed little teddy bear like a Carl Neos shoved in there who's keeping his head up. Somebody's asked to keep his salary, and even he has been suspended, and he's still singing the corruptors' praises. But the rest is that they are incompetent. Our president, who's supposed to have so many business in that, is incompetent. I will say it again with Ronaldo, no balls Ramaphosa. And then you look at the DA. The DA is competent. Is the DA white? No. Is the DA black? No. Is the DA colored? No. Is the DA Indian? No. The DA is a fully integrated multiracial party, and you do not see more of a rainbow than what you see in the Democratic Alliance. However, you see competency, you see ability, you see capability, and you see results over there. Are we prepared to take that on? No. Why? Because it is successful and it contains a multiracial conglomeration of people. South Africa's many and various economic woes have many and various causes. Perhaps the leading cause of the rise of widespread corruption of a type and scale not before seen that coincide with advent of ANC rule. This peaker under President Jacob Zuma, elected 2009, forced from power 2018, and now facing hundreds of criminal charges, whose rule was associated with corruption that rose to the levels. I'm not going to go through another 500 thing. Here's another thing that said there are several reasons. White area, blank gebied. You know what? This man's long walk to freedom became this man's short sprint to corruption. Yeah. Flippin' bloody clown, if you ask me. Build a house for 250 million while ordinary citizens live in poverty. I blame apartheid. Corruption everywhere. And this is Kopduk. She's not even qualified to iron my shirt, but she's running a country because Cyril's got no balls. If Carol Baskin was a South African. Guys, I'm going to sort of quit it there. But basically what I'm saying is we've looked at what happened to this country over this last week. Lawlessness like we've never seen before. We've got people conspiring that it is going to get worse. When this lawlessness stops, because people can only do so much for so long and then you get tired of it or you have nothing more to do. You know what? You need to have a certain amount working. You need to have a certain amount generating to at least keep the economy and the income going. You need to have a certain amount to actually move forward. This lawlessness, as well as all the rest, will be swept under the carpet. Cry the beloved damn country. Cry the beloved damn country. But while we have everybody, not a white face, looting, while we have everybody being arrogant, my rights, fully white, most arrogant little whites with their nest egg stuck away there somewhere. In their middle-aged 50s, 60s now at the moment, but usually around about their 50s, late 40s, 50s. You're a bunch of arrogant arseholes, I tell you that. And if you can't stand together, we are the minority. You can't stand together. The majority is not educated, but they stand together in naiveness, if I can put it that way. Sorry, guys, but you know what? It's not what you want to hear, but it's what people are asking. It's the questions that we're saying, and the political parties are tiptoeing around it like you'll never see people tiptoeing around it. And we're going, ooh, there's looting. What's happening about the looting? How do we address this looting? Well, people have looted this and people are doing... Guys, who are you trying not to offend? We've got a president in jail, not for what he's done yet. We've got a president with no balls, so he can't do anything. We've got a government that can't take responsibility, that can't take accountability. Just a quick one before I finish. I was watching a news, e-news actually, and we'll talk to an industrial psychologist. Why is this happening? Children do what they see. So if it's what the parents do, it's what they will do. So they see people looting, they will loot too. And this is why the looting, because they don't know any better. This is what they've been shown. I'll tell you why there's looting. I'll tell you why they burn down things. I'll tell you why they murder, because there's no consequence in South Africa for lawlessness and crime at the moment, especially if you're a black. I'm sorry. Let me give it to you that way. Coloreds are tired of it. Indians are tired of it. Indians are so tired of it that they went and burnt the shacks and things like that. Well, if you're going to come burn our stuff, we're going to burn. Unfortunately, they're burning the wrong people. because the people who are looting are people with cars. As you could see, a man who proudly, everybody's seen the video of a man who proudly looted a 58-inch TV. And as he was being filmed on national TV, he was trying to fit his looted TV into his car, which was packed with other looted items, and he couldn't. And he proudly just looked and smiled at the camera while he was packing away his looted TV, which should end his hunger. But there's no consequence. We filmed him walking off. The police could do nothing when they saw people running out of a sneaker shop, tacky store, running out with shoes. I don't know if they intended to chew on the leather to quell the hunger in their stomachs or what, or the Hessian or whatever tackies are made of these days. But the bottom line is, it's not what we see that we do, or it's not our fault, and it's not apartheid's fault, and it's not corruption's fault, and it's not Zuma's fault, and it's the ANC's fault, because there is no consequence for wrongdoing. Easy as that. No consequence for wrongdoing. I can do wrong, and guess what, guys? In a week or two's time, this will be swept under the carpet and put down so that we can carry on with trying to blame things for the incompetent running of our country. And the incompetence is not black. It's ANC, and I'm sorry, far right as well. Far right as well. You arrogant little white arseholes. I have, once again, as I say, never been as abusively treated in retail in 24, 25 years as what I was by arrogant, entitled whites. And that's the reason, because you've got naive, uneducated, black, and arrogant, educated, entitled whites who have this friction. And then you get the middle white and the middle black and the middle Indian and the middle Chinese and the middle colored who are trying to make this country work. But it's those with the money. Black money, white money, corrupted money, apartheid money, call it what you want. But those are the money. You can't sit together because you're too greedy. Greed is a downfall of our country. And as much as what I'd like to return to the country, to actually live out the last few days of my life, I'm sorry. I'm going to need to travel the rest of the world, because I don't think there's going to be much of a country left over. Mozambique is shot to shit. Zimbabwe is shot to shit. South Africa is no longer the prominent country of Africa, and there are far more other countries that are being more prominent and stronger than what South Africa is. Guys, I'm sorry I called a couple of facts over here that maybe you didn't want to hear, that maybe made you swallow and gasp and go, he said it. Yes, I did. I asked the question as well. And I'm calling the shot that so many people in the street in South Africa are calling and going, why? And too afraid to be able to call it, and too afraid to be able to say it. Because of the damn fact that you will offend somebody, that you'll be in trouble for something. I mean, people are putting videos of a box that is put down in a bunch of monkeys, and they all go and they grab hold of everything and they scroll all over the place. They practically rip the whole box apart and they run away. And everyone's going, well, I rest my case there. I'm not saying anything. Let's offend a little. Let's not be greedy. Let's say our say, and then think about what we said. I'm not opposed to saying sorry for what I've said, if somebody can make me think about it. I'm not saying it arrogantly, and I'm not saying it facetiously. I'm saying it as what an ordinary man in the street is looking at and wanting to say and wanting to call out. And if you didn't like it, I'm really sorry. I said it. But prove me different. Make me think, and I'm happy to say I apologize for what I said. But tell me that that is not what the majority of people in South Africa are thinking. Up to you guys, up to you. a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you for watching live. I would really like a few more people to give me some questions, give me some live. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop me a mail if you got something that you'd like to chat about, or come onto the show. Pepezecco, PEPRSECHO at Gmail. My name's Andre. Thank you very much for watching. Be good. Take care. And if you can't take care, please be kind.